tackle for another run to the stream. We don't chase.
All right, welcome back into the second episode of Hooked Up, Tight Lines off the Carolina coast. Had some good feedback off our first one. Did you enjoy doing the first one?
Yeah, I sure did.
We're not on the boat this time, obviously.
No, we're not on the boat. Darn it.
It's kind of hard to get on the boat and film, but we'll have some more there. So
Plus, it's, I think 100 degrees out today. So
yeah,
I don't
a
really want
little
to
bit better. This office, this studio is not much better.
No,
We are coming. We're coming to you from North Myrtle Beach. Our studio is set up here when we have time to get into it. But it is sponsored by the Wave Beach Realty. Jonathan Edmond, a good friend of mine, let us set up a podcast here. We do several podcasts out of this location. So this is the Wave Beach Realty Studios. But so today we're going to be looking at some tournaments.
Yep.
That are coming up.
Go to.
Yeah, we're definitely going to try to make some of those tournaments. We're also going to be talking to my brother, we're either be talking about Wrightsville Beach history or the first Cape Fear Marlin tournament. I'm not sure whichever one we don't do today, we'll do next time. And then we're going to end up with some videos. You and I love to watch videos.
Yeah.
So
Give us some commentary on some videos. Fish
Okay,
jumping
good.
into boats and all kinds of crazy stuff happening out there.
exactly. So
Almost makes me not want to fish, Wes. That's getting to be scary.
well, you just got to be careful. That's why you got that club,
Yeah.
But you see, there was a movie called After the Sunset with Pierce Bronson and Selma Hayek. Did you
No.
see that one?
No.
They catch a shark in the boat. It's an FBI agent chasing a jewel thief, and they're on the boat. It's a funny show. But anyway, they catch a shark, and they got a bat. They're going over to knock the shark out, make sure it's dead. And the FBI agent starts opening up with his gun. he's dead now.
Gracious.
So you just got to make sure you got the right equipment out there if they come across the
Tell me I
bow.
should bring my gun on the boat, Wes.
Yeah.
No.
No, we don't. We've done that.
We can
Not going
gamp it,
up
right?
Yeah, not with that big old spear. But anyway,
Oh, no.
fun times. I'm sure you will hear a lot of stories, good and bad. I know the story. My brother tells a story about a guy who actually got cut offshore,
I mean,
and
got cut.
got cut with a hook or knife or something.
Oh,
By the time he came in, it was infected.
Oh, my gracious.
Ended up going gangrene, and he died.
oh,
I was out
my
of
gosh.
Wrightsville Beach. So
Wow.
will be some good stories and some bad stories and some
Wow.
hard luck stories we'll get in on the podcast as we go.
That's
we
what we
do-
call the Coast Guard.
Well, this is probably 40 or 50 years ago. So a little different back then. The Coast Guard was there, but a lot different. Going off
Yeah.
back then was a lot more dangerous, I feel like, than it is now.
Yeah, sounds like it. Plus, we have EPIRBs now. I mean, they
Yeah,
have all
a lot
kinds
of
of
stuff, yeah.
modern.
I don't go
Stuff.
out with my
Yeah.
satellite. My satellite, it's not a phone, but it's a responder that I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
tag Garmin with. It
Mhm.
pinpoints my spot.
Yeah.
So it's always on my person. So if I go overboard, I got it.
Yeah, oh, that's good. What about if I go overboard? I guess
Hang on to me.
hang on. Dead water.
Captain Tommy, I told his story. I'll probably tell the story several times, but Captain Tommy couldn't swim. So I
He
asked
couldn't
him.
swim.
They could swim. I'll tell.
Oh, my
We'll get into that another podcast at some point. But so I asked him when he was older. I said, "What did you? If you couldn't swim, what were you doing out there?" He said he was the best planned captain. He basically had contingency plans for his contingency plan for his contingency plan.
Oh my!
I mean, he had everything lined up perfect. And
Did they have the blow up life
Yeah.
rafts back
Oh yeah.
then?
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
And if I remember right, I have to get Jimmie in on this one, but I think Tommy beached a boat one time because he got a hole in it. He wasn't going swimming.
Oh my gosh.
So we'll have to get out of
That's
history.
a-
Anyway,
That's a big.
these
thank
are
you, Wes.
stories we want to hear. I mean, I've got a few. I'll run out of mine really quickly. My brother's got more than I do, and he'll run out of his, a little longer down the road. But we want to start hearing from the community.
Yeah.
Write us, hookeduppodcast@gmail.com. We are covering from the Outer Banks down to Hilton Head. So that's a lot of space, a lot of time, a lot of years. We want to talk to people who have got stories within the last 10 years, but we also want to talk to people who got stories from 50, 60 years ago.
Yeah.
So write in. We'd love to get you on. Very easy to get you on through Zoom. We'll give you a link. We'll interview you online. So it won't take much time.
Yep.
So we want to make a community here.
Yep.
And we got some other things coming down the pike. We hope work with that, a social media type thing and some other stuff. And I say social media, we're not talking about Facebook. We're talking about a standalone social media platform just for offshore fishermen. So we'll see how that goes.
Sounds
We're
interesting.
testing it in another hobby right now, so we'll see how it goes from there. But
Sounds good.
and let's hear from more of our sponsors, and we'll get started.
All right.
Need help getting that budget together? Reach out to us at Clark Financial Coaching. We can help you with budgets, forecasting the future expenses, just overall tidying up of your financial picture. We're not advisors. We start at the beginning and help you get to the point where you need those advisors. Reach out to me at coachwesc@gmail.com. That's coachwesc@gmail.com.
You're listening to the Hooked Up Podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Send us a message at hookeduppodcast@gmail.com.
All right, welcome back into the Hooked Up Podcast. I've got with me for the first time my brother, Jimmie, who's been fishing offshore a lot more than I have. I told you on an episode earlier that he's probably done 10, 20, 30 times more fishing than I have. He's actually the one that pulled me back into the water about 10 years ago. Thanks, Jimmie. It's not like I didn't have enough money anyway.
I apologize.
You told me one time you were looking at my collection of something else and like, see, I need to get you into boats. You had too much money sitting around. So, but we did grow up near Wrightsville Beach. Our dad fished offshore there. I've told you a little story about that already in some of our segments. He was in 7th grade when he had to, 8th grade, wasn't it? 8th grade, he had to leave and go to work to actually support his family and ended up on boats. And so, Jimmie, when did you start really doing any fishing with him or before that?
Well, when I was young, I mean, I remember traveling with him down to Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, really?
Yeah, going down to Fort Lauderdale and going over to Bimini on the Scotchy with Captain Tommy Willis.
So, this, back up a minute, Scotchy. What was the Scotchy? What kind of boat?
I'm pretty sure it was the Chris Craft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, beautiful boat.
In the 40-foot weight range?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And that was big for back then, right? That was the.
Oh yeah.
That was the.
This had to be 64, 65.
1964.
Yeah.
Well, you would have been 4 or 5 years old then. My gracious.
Yeah.
So did you drive down or did you ride down?
No, we drove down and got on the boat, went over to Bimini.
Wow, I didn't know you did that.
That's probably one of the earliest memories I have of it.
Was it just you and Dad, or Mom go with you?
Mom, Dad, Tommy. Pretty sure Ann was with him.
Ann was Tommy's first wife.
What? First wife. I can still smell the boat today.
Can you really?
Diesel and teak.
Diesel and teak.
Everything.
So, was he not chartering that day? Was he just out for pleasure?
No, he was running a private boat.
Yeah. So I've talked some about Tommy on here, and I'm sure we'll talk more about him. But let's back up before that. Dad would have been, I guess it was 50, 53, 54 when he started fishing. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. From what I can understand, he first went to work for Alton Teague.
Okay.
At the Mary Lane.
Let me share this. We'll share this picture with you, and you can tell me who these people are. If you may not know, Tommy was actually ones that showed one of them, but this is one of the early pictures I found of him. That is him. I thought it might be, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
So he was the captain of what?
Mary Lane.
Okay. And I actually is that one? I think we have a postcard of that one, don't we? Dad standing on the back of it?
Yes.
I'll have to dig that one up. I don't have it in my collection right now. I'll have to dig that up and show it. But I didn't see these pictures. I didn't see a lot of marlin looking back on what I did have of Dad's collection, but I saw a lot of sailfish. So they must have caught a lot of sailfish out of there.
Well, you used to be able to go on Johnny Mercer's fishing pier, and they had pictures there where they would catch the sailfish off the end of the pier.
Oh, wow.
Back during that time, 60s, 50s, and 60s.
I wonder, what do you think changed?
Not probably everything else. Just climate's a little different now. I mean, you've noticed last time the last couple of years going out, it seems to be a whole lot rougher than it was 25, 30 years ago. And
I've only known the rough stuff, so I kind of look back with fond memories or fond kind of jealousy of what y'all had.
Well, I spent many an hour out there in a little 14-foot John boat, 10 miles offshore fishing for kings and Spanish.
Yeah.
It was a common thing. I hardly ever went down there. And once in a while you'd hit some rough patches, but it was more rare than it was. Now, a good day seems to be exception.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, you and I have fished many times in the last 10 years. Not as much as I'd like, but many times. But it seems like every time you go out with me, I have the roughest days.
Yeah, that's my luck.
I've been out there a few days. Actually, went out with a friend of yours one time, and the next day I went out with a friend of mine, and both days like glass, about 20, 25 miles offshore. And but I don't see like you said, I don't see many of those days at all.
All I ever had to do was show up at the dock.
Uh, now I I'm not sure why Dad's alone in this one. I guess we should back up and say he was the first mate for these captains.
Yes.
So he had his pictures, and I see the rod he's holding, and I had promised our viewers that I'm going to bring on one that Captain Eddie Hanneman made. I got to dig it out of storage, but I would imagine this is a handmade rod, isn't it? Wouldn't you think?
It's hard to see. Looks like a classic rig from that era. Like what, about a 4-aught or maybe a 6-aught pin?
Yeah.
It's probably more of a 4-aught, what it looks like. Yeah, that's Eddie, and I think that's Alvin down there kneeling beside him.
Yeah, it looks like him.
Of the three, I can't quite make out.
I figured a lot of these are probably just from the charters that they did. There's one in here. I'll see if he stands out to you because I didn't know who it was, and Tommy had to tell me, but I'm sure he's coming up. Another one. I don't see the captain in this unless he's looking for a different captain.
No, I think he's still. The looks of him, he's still without.
And is this a king?
Everybody's got. Like me, he's got some kings, Spanish, maybe. Well, he got an amberjack there.
Yeah, there's a mahi right here. I can tell that's a mahi.
Is that a mahi? I can't tell.
So, and this is right off. Is this right off the causeway, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know anything about Wrightsville Beach?
The old municipal docks.
That's right. When you go across on the south side bridge.
Yeah, it's right there. Right across the street from what used to be Newell's.
Yep. Okay. Like many mahi on that board.
Yeah.
Getting off the dock. Sailfish. And this one, I think it's still the docks.
Oh yeah.
Right there. You fished when you caught your marlin, you fished off at that same municipal dock. 1973. 73. 13 years old. Man, look at I mean, you just look at the cockpit of that boat.
Yeah.
Compared to today, it looks tiny. And they were going, how far were they going offshore at this point?
Oh, they're probably going 75, 85 miles.
75, 80. Who was the first one to actually go to the Gulf Stream out of Wrightsville Beach? You told me that story one time.
I don't know.
I thought you told me one time it was Eddie, Captain Eddie, with gas tanks on his top. Maybe Tommy told me that.
No, what I was talking about is Daddy used to go out there in his 25 Bertram.
Oh, and he put gas tanks up.
He'd have to carry extra fuel tanks to get out there and get back.
Okay. But I think Tommy told me, must have been Tommy when I went down and sat with him for those few days about the first trip out of the Wrightsville Beach. And I swore he said Eddie Hanneman. Of course, he was older then. I'm not sure if he remembered everything clearly. But saying that he also did the same thing, even in his big boat, because it wasn't somewhere they went, I guess, back in the 40s or 50s.
Well, I caught my marlin on the Martha Helens. We left the night before at about 7:30. Left the dock.
7:30 at night.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
And we got out there in time the next morning to get the last dock, right about daybreak.
Wow.
I mean, I caught my marlin. My marlin struck at 8:30 in the morning.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And we more or less, after we boated that, started in. And we got to the dock about 7:30, 8 o'clock that night. It ain't like the day where you put the motors to the corners and you're out in the Gulf Stream in a couple hours,
right,
3
right.
hours.
Yeah.
Again, it took 6, 8 hours to get out there.
Another sailfish. This was Maria Lane too, also.
Yep.
I think that's the same picture I showed a few minutes ago.
Mhm.
It's another copy of it. Not sure. Somewhere in here, I know he switches captains, but I'm not sure when. He had this one at Valhalla. Did he work on that one, or was that just a picture?
No, I think that was just a picture. He never mentioned anything about that.
Working on a thing?
Yeah, that's what he's doing there.
No, I did not.
He's splicing rope.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was all chains, but you're right. There's chain and right. He's placing the rope in two. Okay.
He's either tying two ropes together or he's putting the loop in one and splicing it back in.
Which you don't do today. You just go buy another one.
No, you just go buy another one.
Oh yeah, I actually see the tool down here that we
Yeah.
actually have this
Yeah.
in our collection. Because you know how to do this because you did some
Yeah.
when we got the Egg Harbor that we had together.
Yeah. Dad taught me how to do it years ago.
Again, just a bunch of sailfish coming out of Wrightsville Beach. Same captain again. Is that dead down on the right? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of different. Where's the one that?
There's Tommy.
No, that's Tommy.
That's Tommy Willis.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
See, I didn't know that.
Yep, that's Tommy.
And so, those of you who have been listening, first episode, I talked about Tommy a lot. My dad and Tommy a lot, but this definitely doesn't look like the man I knew because I knew him a lot. Right many years after that. Now the story. Go ahead.
A whole lot bigger.
Yeah, a lot bigger. I remember he used to call the house every now and then back when long distance cost money, and he was living down Savannah or somewhere. Always yelling. What was he yelling? Run aground, especially when he was eating. But yeah, just they actually knew each other as teenagers. I'm trying to remember who told me this story. Dad got him on the boat for the first time.
Yeah, Dad got him working.
And Tommy never learned how to swim.
Yeah. From what I understand, the day he passed away, he couldn't swim a lick.
No, when I talked to him about a year and a half before he died, I was down there with him for a few days, and yeah, I said, "Well, how do you do that? How do you go out every day and be prepared?" He says, "That's just it. I was prepared." He didn't say in these words, but he basically said, "I had contingency plans for my contingency plans for my contingency plans." And his wife walked through while we were. It would be a second wife walked through, Kathy, while we were talking. He says, "Oh yeah, best prepared man on earth to go offshore." So.
If I understand the Scotchy, he hit some floating debris with the Scotchy a few miles offshore, and he never pulled the motors out of the corners till he hit the beach.
Oh, which beach? Do you know? Around Wrightsville Beach?
Yeah, it was in Florida.
I was in Florida. Okay.
Yeah, he didn't sink it. He ran as hard as he could run it. He ran it up on the thing. There's our granddaddy.
Okay, so I'm scrolling through here with Tommy. I bought the books down to show him, and I was showing him the books. You know, he was having a great time. And he looked at him, and he wasn't sure who they were. You know who this captain is?
He looks familiar, but I cannot put his name.
And there's Newell's, like you said, behind there, Nautilus Restaurant. But anyway, we went a few pages. He says, "Wait a minute, go back a couple pages." I went back. He says, "That's your granddaddy."
Yep.
Our grandfather died when Jimmie was a baby. Were you even born yet?
I was a month old.
And obviously died before me, 7 years before. So I never knew him. So really, I mean, I'm sure I saw his pictures in my grandmother's house down then, but that was the first time she passed away when I was younger. So the first time I really looked at him and realized that this was a true picture of my granddad.
The only picture I've ever seen of it.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Maybe I never saw a picture then. That could be it. Another sailfish. And then after that, I've just got a bunch of stuff. Okay, well here's the Valhalla right here. Sailfish. Fun. It was caught aboard these. Can't read that. Oh yeah, okay. There's two. I forgot I had two columns. Right measurement 7'9" and was the largest build taken to date in the Sailfish Run. So there must have been some kind of tournament going on. Sailfish Run. It was caught aboard the Valhalla by John E. Treadwell. Jimmie Clark is shown with the 59-pound fish. So he must have spent a little bit of time on the Valhalla. I never heard the name either though.
He probably. I mean, it's like everything else down there. You know, all the boats are on the dock. And they didn't have a charter that day, and the other needed the help. He would go work for that captain a day or so.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. This is Captain Eddie, right?
That's Captain Eddie.
Captain Eddie Hanneman. There's actually a sailfish tournament in Wrightsville Beach. I'm not sure if it's still happening this year, but they had it for many years in honor of him. Nice little shark sitting in the middle. I can't tell what the other fish are. Look kind of like Spanish.
I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to figure out who the girls are.
Are they twins?
No. I better not say.
Okay. And then it's a lot of these pictures you'll recognize. This is just some of the clippings
Yeah.
that Alton Teague is mentioning here. I do notice here they called the first mate James Clark.
Yeah.
Sure, Daddy didn't appreciate that since his name was really Jimmie and not James. This was off the Maria Lane 2 also, Captain Teague. And this is our mother's handwriting, I can tell. June 3rd, 1962.
Yeah.
A white marlin caught.
Yeah.
With Eddie Hanneman on the Martha Ellen in the Gulf Stream. 9 feet, 10.5 inches, 232 pounds. Oh, that was a blue marlin they took in.
Yeah, they call it blue and a white.
Blue and white. 45-pound white, 6 feet, 10 inches.
But that's one thing that got me the first time I ever seen that clip. And they said a rare white marlin.
They're not as rare as they used to be, are they?
No, I mean, they got turned. I mean, I don't know. They still have the Ocean City tournament or not.
It's still huge up there.
Yeah.
I followed it each year. I forget what happened last year. It was something really news made up there last year. I can't remember which one. Dr. Barden is mentioned in here, and I recognize that name. Does that ring a bell with you?
Yeah.
So I remember that name being mentioned at some point. Again, that same picture. That must have been a pretty famous picture because I've got 3 copies of it. Another one. And that's really it I've got from his collection. I don't have yours in here.
Probably think, you also got a thing when Daddy put that scrapbook together. He's probably what, 14, 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
I put together scrapbooks around that same age that repeated themselves quite a bit.
Yeah. Not a lot of life lived yet.
Yep.
Oh, well, that's going to end this segment, but I'm going to have hopefully Jimmie will come back and join us some more. He's got a lot of other tales. He and I both can sit and talk for a long time about a lot of the stuff that's gone on, not just on Wrightsville Beach, but just in fishing in general. So let's hear from a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back in for our next segment.
All right. Well, now it's officially time to introduce my book, Econ Sense, Economics for Everyday Living. You can actually find it by going to my website, econsense.us. If you go there, you'll see there are links to Amazon where you can pick it up, just a paperback, or if you'd rather have the ebook, you can go to Innovative Publishing in care of Kendall Hunt Publishing Company, where you can get the print or ebook. And while you're on that website, you can also check out my other podcast, Econ Sense. I have several different series that go by. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Email me at wes.the.economist@gmail.com, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Welcome. You are listening to the Hooked Up Podcast, tight lines off the Carolina coast. Feel free to reach out to us at hookeduppodcast@gmail.com. We would also love a follow on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Fish on!
All right, welcome back into the Hooked Up Podcast. And today in this segment, we're going to take a look at one of the tournaments going down to South Carolina. We've got the Edisto tournament coming up, It's at the marina at Edisto Beach. Let me go ahead and share this screen. We'll actually look at their website to see what's going to be going on. Yep, sounds up. So the marina at Edisto Beach, and this year, let's go ahead and look at the tournament for this year.
And this is south of Charleston.
South of Charleston,
Yeah.
yes. So the dates this year is July 15th and 18th. So coming up here real quickly.
Yep.
And the registration's up for those of you who are thinking about fishing it. $2,800 fee, which includes your boat slip. Unlike somewhere like the Big Rock where you gotta be
gotta find
finding
your
your
own.
own slip.
Yeah.
Electricity, water, 6 shirts, badges, meals. You can actually buy different meal tickets. So to me, $2,800 is not much
Not
entry
bad.
fee to
No.
that. And then the tournament within a tournament, TWT is up.
Okay.
And how much for the heaviest blue marlin, the release for blues, release for bills, and also that non-sonar billfish release, which I'm glad to see because if I ever had the chance to fish this, I wouldn't have any of those fancy sonars that they're using in the meat fish. But yeah, again, it is at Marina at Edisto Beach. Actually been in contact with some of the people down there. See if we can come down and film some. So we're actually going to try to go down and film some on the dock for one of our future episodes. But I spoke with some big people down there. He actually sent me a little bit of history. Didn't give me a name, just the marina. They said the tournament actually started in 1988. They did take a break at COVID. And right now, this year would qualify as the 37th annual.
All right.
Which they said they think is the oldest, other than Georgetown's.
Okay.
One that happened earlier this year.
Okay. Gotcha.
And it is part of the Governor's Cup. And I've actually reached out to the Governor's Cup people. They're on vacation, I guess, because it's July 4th.
Yeah.
Coming back on Monday. So hopefully as we record this, I hope next week I'll hear from them in one of our future episodes.
Cool.
We can talk about it, maybe even get them on an interview.
Yeah.
Be nice to have them
That'd be
on.
super, yeah.
So we're going to try to get down there. We've got some other tournaments coming, but we want to take a look at last year's. And last year's, they had 42 boats fishing. And I think, looking down at the different ones in South Carolina, you had 16, 56, 33, 49, and 42 fish.
So Georgetown's the biggest one.
Yeah. And he said was the oldest. So that kind of makes sense.
And the closest one to us was.
Yep. So we'll definitely be there next year.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe we'll get lucky and be able to fish it next year. I have to call Matt. We got a friend down in Georgetown. We have to get us hooked up. Maybe we can get some footage on a boat somewhere. No, you don't want to go?
Oh, that'd be fine with me.
Be fine with you?
Yeah. As long as I don't fall off.
So in 2025 for the Edisto, the winning boat was Daymaker with 3 blue marlins and 7 released sailfish. Outstanding billfish boat. That was second place for that. 11 released by Showtime. And then third place was Claytime with 1 blue and 7 released. So you may say, well, I talked about the rock before and everybody goes up there, but you got to understand the rock's abnormal. I mean, it's not a normal tournament. I mean, the first tournament I ever went to was Cape Fear, which is the first of the North Carolinas governors. I don't think it's called the what is it called up there again? Get these names, Billfish Series, North Carolina Billfish Series. It's usually the first one. Actually, I guess the first one this year was the Swansboro, which is just south of Morehead City. Okay. It's right near Jacksonville.
Oh, okay.
So you had Swansboro and then the Cape Fear. But I went to Cape Fear the first year. My first time I went to a tournament, and there was only probably about 30 boats in that one.
Really?
And they didn't bring, the days I was there, they didn't bring any marlin. I'm not sure if it is a kill, if they even boat in that. I have to research Cape Fear a little bit longer. We're actually going to be looking at the history of the Cape Fear coming up with my brother. Okay. Because Tommy was the captain of the boat that won it the first annual.
Very first year.
1974, I think it was.
Oh,
I
wow.
look and see. We'll on a segment we'll dig into that.
Okay.
So I actually got a picture of the trophy from that year, and also a picture of the boat of the fish that was as it was being boated.
Really?
For that tournament. So we'll get into that in one of our future times.
Yeah. But the Big Rock is odd. Is it the biggest marlin tournament in the world or the US?
I've been told Cabo was bigger.
But that's not the U.S.
It's not U.S. It's
What about the
Mexico.
U.S.? Because I know there's a big one in Maryland. That's a
Well,
white marlin
that's a white marlin tournament. As far as I know, the Rock is the biggest blue marlin tournament.
Okay.
So
it is kind of
especially now because they called it the Super 20. I think this was his second or third year they entered the Super 20. It used to be to get in all the things at the Big Rock, it was around $30,000. Now it's like 50 some $1,000 to be in all of them.
Yeah.
And these you could see from what we looked at on the Edisto, it's not going to cost near that much.
Oh no, yeah.
To get in all the different ones. But
yeah.
would I tell you the winning boat walked away with this year? The Big Rock 6 point
6 point something million.
6.2 million.
Yeah.
You're not gonna walk away from Edisto with 6.2.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
But that's normal.
Mhm.
And that's hopefully as we go through this and I learn more and as we dig into each tournament, because each one has its own personality, it's got its own history and what it's doing. I mean, even though they're part of the series or the cup, they're still their own tournaments.
Okay, gotcha.
And honestly, we've talked about it. We hope not a Marlin tournament, but we hope that one day we can have from Hooked Up Podcast sponsor a tournament.
Have a king tournament.
I don't know if we'll do king or not. more offshore. I know the Eddie Hanneman. I'm not sure if the Eddie Hanneman tournament is happening this year. Selfish tournament out of Wrightsville Beach, honoring Eddie Hanneman, which we're going to talk about on some of our future histories about the Wrightsville Beach area. He's a famous captain there. Actually made his own rod and reels. I was going to bring in one of his rod and reels that I have that he handmade.
Yeah.
I say rod and reels, the actual rod that he made. So, hopefully maybe we could do down the road next year or 2 or 3 years, we could do a dolphin tournament or something. There's one dolphin tournament. It's a dolphin and Spanish mackerel tournament that
that's an
community
odd
college.
combination.
It really is, but it's been going on quite a while. It's a tournament put on by Carteret Community College.
Carteret, yeah.
Carteret Community College. And that was kind of interesting because you can transport some of the fish over land. So if you catch Spanish off the beach, you can put it.
Yeah.
So well,
when
we
is
know
that tournament? Do we know?
it is coming up pretty soon, I think. I have to look that one up. It's another one we can look up.
Yeah.
We're going to do another tournament segment next week on the band, the Billfish, going on to Morehead City. So I'll look it up for that one.
Okay.
All right.
Well, good.
I think that was all I was going to cover for that tournament. But again, it's time to get in on that. If you want to get a boat in on down there, because these are large boats and they go out from Edisto Beach, you're going to have to go out a long way to get to the Gulf.
Yeah. A long way.
A long way. All right, we'll hear from a sponsor. We'll be back.
Are you looking to buy a home in North or South Carolina? You need to reach out to Wave Beach Realty today. We are a family-owned company with over 10 years of experience in North and South Carolina and operate along the Grand Strand. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. That's 843-957-3872.
You are listening to the Hooked Up Podcast, tight lines off the Carolina coast. Reach out to us at hookeduppodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X.
All right, back into the Hooked Up Podcast. This is our questions segment, questions that we want to know the answers to. So I know you said you didn't have you right off the top of your head. You got to think of at least one for the segment. So
I can think of one.
My biggest question, and I've asked some captains this already and some anglers who do a lot of this fishing, and that is, which app do I use to figure out what's going on? I literally, the last time I went out, it was about 2-3 weeks ago. I looked at all the forecasts. I went on Windy. I used the NOAA, which I've been told that they're crap anyway. Everything, I've been using all these things. Everything said it was going to be a 2 to 3 foot waves, inshore and offshore, cycling at about 6 to 8 seconds a wave.
Ooh.
Which
sounds like a nice day.
Great.
Yeah.
So I get up and I actually check the buoy off of Surfside, Sunset Beach.
Yeah.
Out of Little River.
Yeah.
And it literally says 2.5 foot wave with like a 6-second interval. Great.
Not bad.
This is gonna be a good day.
Yeah.
This was like 4:30 in the morning. Take off, hit the inlet about 5:45, 6 o'clock in the morning. I could not get out of the inlet. Now I could have got out of the inlet. And I could have handled it all day. It was rough. I mean, it was really beating me up. But I had a couple people with me that really
Yeah.
couldn't take it, and I wasn't going to deal with that all day. You
So the
know,
buoy lied to you.
yeah, I mean, exactly. And the buoy. I mean, I'm sending real time stuff, and I got it wrong. So
Huh.
I need help. How do I? And this is now. I understand this is a question that cannot be answered because everybody I talk to
Yeah.
says different things.
Have you
and-
tried Chat GPT?
Okay, great. Just what I want to do. Head out on the ocean under the advisement of Chat GPT.
I mean,
He
I
might-
hear a lot of
That's
students
Jay-
use it for a lot of good things.
Chat GPT may have something against me. Let's just put it like that. Did you see iRobot? I mean, come on.
Oh, gracious.
So that's one of my
Uh,
questions is, how I need to do better about being able to forecast whether I can go out or not.
Mhm.
Now my brother tells me you won't know until you hit the inlet whether you're going out or not.
Really?
He swears by that. There's
Hmm.
got to be a better way because all these guys are making money. And I'm not trying to make money. I'm just trying to get offshore a little bit.
Well, what scares me is how it changes during the day while you're out there.
Yeah.
I mean, just the things, it can change so quick.
And I have come back
Yeah.
in on a rough day and I had trouble getting back in the inlet
Yeah.
because the tide was coming out, the wind was blowing in, the tide was coming in. I mean, that tide, the waves were coming in.
So there should
So-
be some app that you can, hour by hour, this is
Well, they do. They show you
what
hour
it's
by
gonna
hour.
be.
Well, they do.
But They do,
They just,
but you can't trust them.
but they're not right. So that's my, I'll ask a captain when we get them on, or angler when we get on. What do you use?
Well, I mean, if you have a 70-foot Jarrett bait, I don't
Well,
think
now this is different. I mean, this is that. Somebody told me that you need for Atlantic coast, especially in our section, you need about a 48-foot boat because at
there
that
you go,
point,
Wes.
it doesn't matter about the waves, just
Yeah.
so big that you're just kind of.
Yeah, you're just
So-
racing through.
My brother went out of Wrightsville Beach one time, and I forget the name of the boat he was on. I mean, probably one time he's on with us, he'll better tell us. But literally, he said it was so rough that most of the people were in the cockpit, not in the cockpit, in the salon, in the bathroom throwing up. It was so bad.
Oh my gosh.
But he said he went to step one time down on the floor. You know how you're walking,
Yeah, yeah.
and he takes a step, and the boat drops, and it's like he falls.
Oh my gracious.
So,
How would
Mickey,
you
yeah.
vomit in that?
It's something else.
Oh my goodness.
So that's gonna be one of the questions I ask.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Yeah. I don't know. Mine is more about fishing stuff. Like when to run a planer. What's a planer good for? How deep does the planer need to go? Right. If you're fishing for wahoo,
Yeah.
you have to run a planer. Well, wahoo come to the
No.
top.
Well, wahoo
mean,
comes to, I mean, I fish wahoo on the top. Tommy told me to fish. He told me to put my 4 lines out. And I've always been taught to put them out like this, so they're staggered. So when you wind them,
okay.
they
Yeah.
go back and forth.
So what
He
you mean,
said in
one's
the
longer,
middle-
one's shorter,
Right.
one's longer. Yeah.
And he said he always put a middle one out way back here for the wahoo.
Way in the back.
Way in the
On a
back. That was-
planer or just
No,
on
just on top, just running a wahoo. But you're right, where wahoos are down. I have heard people use planers to go down, or you can use a weight too to weight to lie them down.
Okay.
But the faster you go, the faster the weight's going to come
Yeah,
up.
it comes up. Right?
Yeah,
What about tuna?
that's
Where
a
do you
good
find
question.
They
People,
top, bottom, middle.
everybody I've talked to has fished on top, but I would think you'd fish down
Really?
low on that. Again, these are good questions. We need to write these down, and when we get a captain on, ask them.
And will one lure catch multiple species, or do you have
Um,
to use a different lure for
Good question
a
too.
different species?
Again, I can only tell you what I've heard. We need to ask experts on this.
Okay.
But depending on the color of the water, or depending on the
Color
color.
of the water. Water's clear, Wes. Have you been in a cup lately? What do you mean color of the water?
Well, I mean, you as you go out of Little River, we'll talk about Little River because both you and I've been out of that one.
Yeah.
It's very grayish. I mean,
Yeah,
it's nasty
Is it
water.
dirty. Yeah.
Turns into greenish water. As you get out, you saw when we went out, it turned into blue water. I mean, it got that crystal blue water.
Yeah.
But even then, you have different tints, sunlight, and so depending on what the fish is seeing is what you
Really?
use. I mean,
Oh, okay.
we'll introduce it at some point on here. My brother actually designed a system called the Annihilator. It's a system to put off the back of the boat to try to draw the fish up.
Okay.
Dredge. It's a dredge you put off the back of the boat to draw the fish up. To try to get away from that, it sparkles in a way that can cut through any water.
Okay. So they can
But-
see it no matter what color.
Yeah, but that's still getting them up. You still got to have something run that they're attracted to. Now,
Okay.
every time I caught a mahi, it's usually on a green and yellow skirt. Skirt being that what you talked about last time is the,
Okay.
um,
Why is that? They think it's a baby mahi that they're going after?
I hope not. That's kind of gross.
I mean, it could be.
But my brother says he usually catches wahoo on purple and black
Purple and black.
skirts. But again, as soon as somebody hears this, write us in
Yeah.
a podcast like, I've never caught one on a purple. I mean, so it's really, we're going to see a lot of different opinions, which is again why we're doing this.
Wow. Well, and I'll have even more questions.
Oh yeah.
That. But
yeah,
yeah,
definitely so.
yeah. And I don't know what a circle hook is. I know what a J hook is, right?
Yeah.
Standard. hook.
I've
But
got some in my
circle
kit.
hook, I
I
don't
need to
know
bring
what
them
that
in.
is.
I need to pull them off the boat and I'll bring one in and show
And it's
you.
harder to catch a fish on a circle hook.
Well, yeah.
to keep them on.
To keep
right?
them on, but it also does less damage to the fish, and that's the whole point of it,
Okay.
especially the ones you're releasing.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
So, and I did have somebody tell me within the last 6 months, there's a way to actually to rig up the circle hook that makes it a better catching hook than a J hook. It's the only person I've ever heard tell me that.
Really?
Though. So, again, I'd like to hear
Oh,
more
okay.
opinions on that.
That's interesting. Yeah. So lots of questions.
Oh, we're gonna have a lot more, a whole lot more.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you heard any of these, you got answers, write us in, hookeduppodcast
Yeah.
at gmail.com. Help us novices, amateurs,
Yeah.
trying to learn more. And again, we'd like to get some people on. So if you're listening to
Yeah.
this and want to chime in and give us some of your take, we'd love to hear from you.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll catch you next time.
Don't
Yep.
chase
See
clocks.
you next
We chase the tide out past the drop off where the big ones lie. Past the seaboard throttles pushing wide, chasing that